think about that bass?
It's not natural.
It's not natural?
Not the way God intended.
There's some basses that have been released recently that just look a little bit odd. And to be honest, I've been repelled from even trying out some of these basses because of their strange looks. But in the past couple of years, I've learned that some of these odd looking basses can secretly have higher quality for a lower price than regular looking basses. Now, usually I would never take a bass like this on an actual gig because it could be a distraction, but today I'm gonna review and take a headless bass on a pro gig. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Today's video is sponsored by Cort Guitars. All right, so now that we're in the studio, here is what this bass looks like. This is the Cort Space 4. And this is basically the 4-string version of a bass they released called the Cort Space 5, which I'm sure y'all seen like some people like Nate Navarro and some other bass YouTubers review it. It actually is a dope sounding bass, and this one is pretty much built the same exact way, just in a 4-string version. Now, I will say the build quality of this is so nice. I know y'all probably seen me the first time I did a headless bass on my channel. It was like a traveler guitar, traveler bass or whatever. But this one, I will say, is definitely superior in quality. This is really made to be played on stage. This is made to be played in live events or even studio. It's definitely got a little weight to it, but it's not heavy. It's like, just like balance. I think that's the one thing I would say about this whole build is that it's very, very balanced. There's no neck dive. It's not even like really, the body's not even crazy heavy or anything like that. It just feels really balanced. And that's what I love about this bass so far, especially with the build quality. So what I love about this is that it has a nice matte finish on the body, and even on the back of the neck, it's got a matte finish. It's got this color, if you're interested what color this is the Stardust Black. And I just thought it looks super, super cool. Like when you take it out of the case, it's just like, wow, this thing looks like a piece of art a little bit. I will say some of this, the coloring and everything kind of reminds me more of like a rock vibe or metal type of vibe, but the electronics that it packs in here is actually very, very surprising compared to, man, so many basses that I've tried in the past that are under $1,000. It has 2 Mark I Bartolini pickups, which I was like so shocked. I was like, Bartolinis are in this? And then it has a 3-band EQ with a push-pull volume knob. It sounds really great. And it also has a blend knob as well for blending your 2 pickups together. Now on the back of it, it has a 9-volt battery, which a little 9-volt battery slot that's easily accessible, which makes this really nice for a bass like this because it's active and it has really great electronics in it, in which I'm just like, wow, you don't see this on basses like this that often, at least for me, I haven't. Now, some of this hardware is really nice, but it's a little odd compared to a normal bass because it doesn't have a headstock, which is kind of odd, kind of looks like a nub or something like that. On the back here, or on the bottom of the neck, you have this kind of nub looking thing with a little indentation, which is all right. It's kind of weird. But then you have the nut right here with like a locking nut where the strings are locked in. You obviously see there's no tuners here. That's because the tuners are on this side, but they turn very easily. Whenever you're tuning it, you actually have to like change your mindset, because I'm like playing, usually I'm used to doing this, left hand's like here, but on this it's like you play and then you're here, you're turning and you're tuning from here, which is just a little weird. But what's crazy is that they actually tune very easily. These knobs are very high quality metal knobs. And this bridge is also a very high quality bridge that I've never actually seen before. Now the body of this bass is made of a soft maple. The top layer is like a Poplar Burl 6T. At least that's what I was reading about that it is. It seems really nice, very quality. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Now this is a bolt-on neck that is made up of roasted maple, walnut, Purple Heart, and maple 7-ply laminate, which is really, it looks really nice when you look at the back of it. You can kind of see all the different, colors and things like that. The fingerboard is actually made up of roasted maple, so that's why you have this kind of golden brownish look, and it looks really nice. I actually love the look of a roasted maple fretboard. Now I will say when I took this out of the box, it was actually very surprising how long the neck is on here, because it's a little bit longer than I've seen with like headless basses, because it's a 24 fret neck. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy how like cool it is to be able to have a whole nother 24 frets all the way up here. So you can solo do pretty much anything you do down here, you could do up here without any limitations, which is really, really cool. Now, one thing I noticed when playing this is whenever I was going up here, up to the top of the neck, these frets get a little bit smaller than I'm used to, but this is a 24 fret, neck, so they've got to get smaller to be able to fit the entire 24. But I definitely noticed when I was playing that like my hands were just like, it was a little bit hard to stay a little accurate when I'm up here. It feels great out of the box, but I would probably still get this set up to kind of flatten out some of the action, but the way it's built, I could guarantee it'll probably respond very well to that. And also what's interesting on the end of this is that it cuts away a little bit on the back here, which basically is to give you access to be able to tune easily with your hand without being like, having to be constricted by the wood body coming in right here. So they were thinking about this very, very wisely, so you can actually access those knobs easily. And also at the back, you have a little part where you can check your pots and different things like that if you need to work on those or anything like that. Now, before I take this out on the gig, I definitely want to test this out here in the studio and see what this sounds like, so I know that it at least sounds pretty good. I think with these Bartolinis, it's going to sound great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it finger style first, just play around a few little different riffs and bass lines, and then do the same thing with slap style so you can hear both the slap vibe and the finger style vibe. This thing sounds and plays so good. I am so surprised about this, even though it looks a little odd. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this to a gig with the artist that I have in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So I'm gonna pack this up and see how this sounds in a live situation. What do you think, brother? You like the Headless?
Sick, dude. I think when we said a little less headroom, I think you took it a little too seriously. No, dude, it's cool. I mean, it's a little funky looking, which I've heard is kind of the consensus, but it sounds good. It's pretty crisp.
Crisp,
like
those Bartolinis.
It's nice and crisp. Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
it also has 7,000 knobs. Most of them are probably placebo, but
exactly.
They just, hey, those are, you ever heard of like Leland Sklar having the producer knob?
The switch.
Yeah, that's what.
There's a lot of producer switches on this one. Yeah. So we just finished sound check. I wasn't able to record anything from sound check because of it was just a really fast, quick sound, like festival style sound check, but it sounded really great. I got a lot of good reports from Charity and Ryan. So curious how this is going to go in the actual event. So we're about to head and kind of talk through everything, and here we go. What's Hannah doing right here?
So right now, Hannah is trying out a few different models of in-ears. With different numbers. The seal is fantastic. We are about to get our molds done.
We got our guy from All Clear here today. He's over here giving us some molds. These are just like different, I think, in-ears that you can try. Demo ears, so you can try them out. And then he has like a list of them right here that we can choose. Mine is these Icon 9 drivers from All Clear. And so the whole team, most of the team is getting on them, so it's gonna be cool. I need to see what Ryan thinks about the bass, because the bass, he's been making fun of it all day. So I gotta say, let's jump to a clip of Ryan talking about the bass. Hey, what do you think about that bass?
It's not natural.
It's not natural?
Not the way God intended. And it honestly makes me uncomfortable.
Why does it make you?
Sounds great. It just looks so bad. I was gonna tag you in this.
Oh God.
What's that?
Oh my God. You're so dumb. Getting ready to do our pre-show meeting, talk through a few things. It's starting to cool down a little bit. It was a little warm for a second there, but it's going to be an interesting night tonight. We have 2 sets that we're playing. We're playing a 15-minute set, and I think the pastor's going to be speaking. And then after that, we are playing a 60-minute concert for the event, which is like kind of like a festival here. So there's a lot of people out here. Probably a few thousand, probably like, I'd say maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people here. It probably will be, at least. I see people starting to file in and everything. So my plan is that I'm going to use the Headless bass, the Cort bass, on the first set, the 15-minute set, for the entire set. I do think it's good enough to play the entire set, even though Ryan thinks it looks crazy. Actually, for what I'm playing, it actually sounded a little bit better than my bass mods for some of the stuff that I was playing. I still love my bass mods. It's not going anywhere. But so I'm doing that, and then I'm switching back over to my bass mods that I normally do at the end for the 60-minute concert. So, whew, it has been a long day. I taught a clinic this morning and then came straight here to this event. So I'm going to be wiped out by the end of this, but it's just part of the grind. So, all right, let's get to the pre-show meeting. Any final words?
If I had to do it all over again, I would do it exactly like I had already done it.
The wisest words. Ryan, are you okay with the bass? Am I going to be fired?
I mean, it sounds great. That's the problem. Like, I wish it was ugly and sounded ugly, but it's ugly and sounds good. But I just can't get over it.
Hey,
Bass?
Yeah.
that's what half the team is. That's what I'm like. Ugly, sound good.
All right, we're getting ready to start the first set. Here we go. so we just finished the concert, man. There was a doozy, we had bugs flying, all kinds of stuff. It was good, the bass worked out. Actually, the audio engineer noticed the sound of the bass and he was like, man, your bass is sounding really good. Did you change anything in your rig? And it was that bass. If any of you guys are interested in that bass, definitely check it out in the link in the description below. I usually don't give shout outs like this with bass, especially basses I've never really, done this much review with. But dude, this bass was killer for a live gig. And so if you guys are interested and can get past the headlessness of it and the nubbiness of it, if you can get past that, the looks of it, it's a great bass to own. Now, if any of you guys are interested in this bass, it'll be linked in the description below so you can check out all the specs or even make your own purchase of this bass. Now, let me know in the comments if you like this video or if you have any other brands or products you would love to see me do a review of on this channel. And if you want to support this channel, there's a couple of ways you can. You could click and make a purchase through any of the affiliate links in the description below, or you can check out my website and make a purchase to any of the products on there, travisdykesmusic.com. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when the newest videos are uploaded. Now, if you like this style video where I test out and review products on gigs, you should definitely check out this one right here.